Hello, everybody. My name is Grace Gonzalez. I currently go to Hosanna Apostolic Church, and I am going to share a little bit of my testimony today. I grew up in a strict Mexican household, very traditional. I really only saw my dad twice a month until I was 8 years old, and then he left to Colorado. So I've always lived with my grandma, my mom, and my sister. As a little girl, I was super emotional. I was a crybaby, and I just always was just fiending for love. My mom, she had always been very on the colder side. I think it was always a lot harder for her to show like that loving, nurturing side just because she was a single mom and she had to do everything. Very much survival mode that she was just always in, and I think she really tried to put that within me and my sister as well. We were just always told, like we only have ourselves. No, we have nobody to run to. When I started to rebel against my mom, I became super disobedient. I was partying, I was smoking, drinking. I became super aggressive, super angry. There's a certain point in my life where I was very alone all the time. My grandma was in Mexico, and my sister, she was in college. And me and my mom were not getting along at all. We couldn't be in the same room with each other without arguing all the time. And so, I was very alone. And I tried moving in with my dad. And my mom just didn't like that. She was like, nope, it's not going to happen. And when I cried to my dad, he was just like, I'm sorry, I can't fight for you. I have a family. And he was like my only hope, really. Whenever I text him, he's pretty loving. So, I still have him. But after that moment, it just, it was like, dang, I don't have you either. I was just spiraling. I really was. Fast forward to a party that I had ended up going to. It was a pretty normal party. I had a little bit too much to drink, and that night I really did not think I was going to make it home. So that night, I really did not think, I was going to make it home. I was in and out of consciousness because I had blacked out from drinking too much. And I had gotten taken advantage of that night. And I just remember calling out to God at one point. And, I never had a relationship with God. So I was just calling out to the God I would always hear about, like around, obviously on social media and stuff, just whatever I knew. So I just called out to God, and I just remember promising, I'll behave, I'll be good, I won't do anything bad anymore, I just want to go home. And I ended up waking up in my bed the next day, and to this day I don't know how I got home. I don't remember the ride home. I don't remember going into my bed. I don't remember going home. I don't remember opening my house door. I don't remember any of it. I just remember waking up and I was in my bed. I started taking my life a little bit more serious, just like school-wise, I guess. And I actually got a job, and at that job I met one of my closest friends. Her name is Daisy, and she introduced me to God. And it really intrigued me just because I also just saw this light to her. I could just feel her peace. I could see that she was genuinely happy, and I was just like, I was trying to get there. I was like, I want to have what she has. And actually, the day before my first day here at Hosanna, which was Friends Day, I had, it was one of my closest friends at the time. It was her birthday, so I didn't get home until around 3 in the morning. And I just remember, getting in bed. Obviously, I was like, I'm going to sleep in. And the same day, I woke up 4 hours later around 7, and I couldn't go back to sleep. But then I ended up, remembering that I was invited to Friends Day, so I decided to just come. And my first day here I could just feel that there was some peace, there was something. I didn't know what it was. It was just something very new, and I was very intrigued by it. And so after that, I just kept coming to Hosanna more and more, and I still had the same mindset. I still, was very much I can't trust these people. These people are fake. It was very much this is all, they're just church holy people. Obviously, they're going to act like they care about me. I just want to get to the point where, I feel actually happy, with life, and I actually feel love. That was my main thing. I just wanted to feel love. We had a Fortnite, And on that day, I didn't really think anything about it. It was very much just normal service. I was like, okay, they're gonna do their singing, nothing out of the ordinary. I was very, very ashamed of, my past and like how I was. And I just thought everybody at church, like, these people are holy, like these people, they've never done anything. They had never gone through anything, I was just embarrassed. I was very embarrassed. The preaching by Mikey, just him speaking about the things he went through and hearing how God was able to help him. It was almost like, it was like a light bulb that was like, oh my goodness, like, he gets it a little bit, he was broken at one point and God was able to help him. So that was like my light bulb that was like, okay, like, I think God can help me too. It was just normal. I was just like, okay, I'm just going to talk to God. And I didn't really know how to pray during the time, so I would just talk to God. And next thing you know, I just started telling him everything. I started telling him the things I was going through. I was telling him about things that I never wanted to think about in my own mind because I was just so ashamed by them. I was telling him the things that, really broke me. After really just crying out to him and telling him everything that I was struggling with, this big wave of just warmth, it just filled my body. And I felt like I was being hugged. I felt like I was being carried. I just felt so loved. And it's definitely a feeling that, everybody has to experience on their own. There's no way of really describing it. But all I could really say is just, I felt like I could rely on something else other than myself. So after that, that's when I knew, like, I wanted to get baptized. I did have a little bit of spiritual warfare that was weighing me down a bit, just because I thought, after you get baptized, like, everything's okay. There was a concert that we went to, a Christian concert, and at one point, one of the singers, he made a time for people to come up and, just to be healed. And I went up, and I was right there, the first one to go up, and I was embarrassed, but I didn't care at the time, because I was just like, okay, I did everything, I got baptized, I changed my life, I stopped smoking, I stopped doing so many things, and I'm back to the point again of not being okay. I remember always thinking people were so extra, people were always yelling and, making a scene almost, but then, like, that was me. That was me literally just, just crying and screaming out for him, and and he healed me from there. Him giving me the love that I never thought I would ever get, the love that I didn't feel deserving of, shifted the way I saw what love was.